Hi, and welcome to the FLX Large Yoga Wheel Flow. As just a quick reminder, this class is totally for you, so go slow, be friendly with your body, focus on your breath, and if anything feels uncomfortable, slowly back out of it. To begin, we're going to come down through seated, place our feet flat on the floor, thumbs are in the large yoga wheel, and fingers wrap around towards your hips. We're just starting with slow breaths to open up the chest and the shoulders. From here, another variation, you can slowly bring your head back, bringing the hands behind it to cradle the head and really support the weight of the head so your neck doesn't have to work so hard. Again, here, I want you to focus on your breath. And on your next inhale, slowly come up through center if your head was lifted back. You can either stay here in the seated position or begin to roll forward and back. We're going to plant our feet firmly in the ground. Again, use those hands to support you and keep the wheel exactly where you want it to be and roll back any amount that you'd like. I want you to focus on your breath, so as you send your hips backwards, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, come back forward, let the hips dip down to the mat. You can slowly begin to extend your head if that feels comfortable. Play around, always back out of it if it feels like too much. From here, I like to plant my hands firmly on the ground and then come into a figure four by taking the outside of my right foot to the top of my left knee. I like to move a bit from side to side, really open up all parts of the hips. Option to stay here with the back relaxing over the yoga wheel, or you can begin to move forward and back like we found before, keeping this figure four position. So every time the hips lower to the ground, you're getting that nice deep hip stretch, and every time you extend backwards, you're opening further through the chest. I like to keep my right hand planted on the ground for support, left hand in the wheel to keep it where I want. Come back through center. If you are moving, take a moment of stillness before we switch to the opposite side. We're going to plant both feet down, do a roll back with the hands in the wheel, and come right back through center, kind of evening everything out. Again, start with hands planted on the side, outside of the left foot, comes to the top of the right knee. Keep your left foot flexed and breathe here. Breathe into the outside of the left hip. Slowly rock from side to side as you massage and open the hips. Option to stay here. If you move back and forth on the first side and want to try it again, now is the time. Plant your left hand firmly on the ground. The right hand will come into the wheel with the thumb inside and begin to roll forward and back. If anything feels unstable, you always have a hand to put down, your feet to put down. Use your body for support here. The most important part is that you feel comfortable and secure while working through this entire flow. If you're rolling back and forth, come back through center, both thumbs into the wheel, elbows draw back together behind you and open the chest. To come out of it, I like to roll back and release my foot, and then come back up through seated. Bring the hands into the wheel, elbows draw together as we slowly begin to roll forward and back. You never have to let your head go all the way down to the floor. That's just an option if it feels comfortable. Again, find what works for you and move slowly and mindfully with your breath here. Begin to relax fully over the wheel. Find the arm variation that feels comfortable for you. If you like the feet flat on the floor, take that, or legs can be lengthened long. Hands can plant down, elbows drawing in, they can relax, grabbing onto opposite elbows. You really have a lot of variations here. Take what you like. Focusing on your breath. On your next inhale, we're going to slowly roll back up, bringing the hips down to the ground, and your head is going to be the last thing to roll up through center. Take a few breaths to find your stability here, recenter. And then transition to bring the large FLX Yoga Wheel out in front of you. Come to sit down onto your heels and take a few breaths here. We just did a lot of heart opening. Take a moment to find stillness. Next, we're going to plant the left hand down on the wheel, then the right hand. Roll the hands forward, coming into a supported child's pose with the yoga wheel out in front of you, deepening your shoulder stretch. Slowly roll back. Switch hands. Right hand will come down onto the large yoga wheel. Relax down. Then exhale, push through the hands, straighten the spine for a breath in. And exhale, relax back down into that child's pose. To come out of it, press the hands firmly into the wheel to roll yourself back up. We're going to plant the hands forward, step the right leg forward, and bring the large wheel onto the top of the left thigh behind you into a runner's lunge. Begin to tip forward and back, massaging the back quad. And then option to plant the left hand down and twist the right arm up towards the ceiling. You can stay here if you're enjoying this twist. One last variation. Find your twist, bend your back left foot and catch it with your right hand, deepening the stretch through the front of the left hip and really opening in the chest. Again, find the variation that feels most comfortable for you today. Slowly release out of it if you have the leg behind you and step back into a downward facing dog before transitioning onto the opposite side. Left foot steps forward, right leg back in your runner's lunge with a large yoga wheel on the top of the right thigh. Begin with pulsing forward and back, massaging your back leg and your back foot before finding stillness. You can stay here in this lunge. You can plant your right hand down and lift the left arm up towards the ceiling for a twist. Variation 1, staying in that twist with the right hand planted. The next variation, you can reach the left arm up and back to catch the top of your right foot. Again, this is a really deep hip opener or deep chest opener, so find your variation. If you have the foot, slowly release it back down and meet into a downward facing dog wherever you're coming from. You are all set. I hope you enjoyed this quick, large yoga wheel flow.